All right, everybody, we're going to go ahead and jump in. It's just a minute after 2, so thank you all so much for being here this afternoon. As you're registering on, as you're signing on, you can go ahead and drop your name in the chat room and say hi, say which organization you're representing would be terrific. My name is Karen Smith, and I have the honor and privilege of running the organization, the Volunteer Center, here in the Lehigh Valley with a small and yet very committed and diligent staff. As an organization, we work every day to serve as a connector, a capacity builder, and a resource to over 350 nonprofits in our community here in the Lehigh Valley. So at the Volunteer Center, we focus our work around 3 pillars. We focus on motivating, coordinating, and educating. We mobilize individuals, groups, and businesses in support of nonprofit organizations and volunteer opportunities. Throughout the year, we coordinate events like this, Intern Impact Day, where we mobilize individuals into the community. Other service days include Martin Luther King Jr. Day, Global Youth Service Day, 9/11 Patriots Day, United Way Day of Caring, and others. For each of these programs, we mobilize anywhere between 250 and 1,000 volunteers in one day, all in service of our nonprofit community. We provide educational programs to community leaders, nonprofit executives, and volunteer coordinators. We have programming specifically designed around nonprofit board training, whereby we train diverse leaders to be actively engaged in support of organizations here. Through several of our key programs, we also motivate people to come together in creative ways to support nonprofits, as well as opportunities to celebrate the importance of volunteerism here in our community. So why Intern Impact Day? So Intern Impact Day is fully aligned with our core focus and our ability to mobilize a new community of leaders to make a difference for the Lehigh Valley nonprofits. Allow me to share a little background on our Intern Impact community planning and our need to pivot this year based on our current situation in the pandemic state. In 2019, the Volunteer Center came together with several of the major employers in the Lehigh Valley and took an idea into action. In 2019, we had 200+ interns spread across 11 community service projects with interns connecting and working together. The goal of Intern Impact Day is to create a meaningful community experience that provides the interns an opportunity to volunteer in support of a nonprofit and meet other Lehigh Valley interns from other employers. Attracting and retaining talent for major companies is key, and helping the interns to have an increased sense of community with new connections and friends can be a decisive factor for them to stay here in the Lehigh Valley, which is what we want you to do. The success of the first year led to earlier planning for 2020 and a broader reach to businesses hosting Intern. Then comes 2020, and we find ourselves shifting our program and yet continuing to come together to share a broader perspective on community service, engagement, and an inside look into the nonprofits and the value they bring to the community. Today's program is going to include 4 breakout sessions, of which each of you will be able to hear live 2 of those sessions. All of the sessions will be recorded and will be available through your employer after this event. Today, we have assembled an awesome list of panelists and presenters, and I just want to start off by saying thank you again for our community that always comes together when they're asked, and it's a terrific lineup today. So I'm excited to hear the breakouts and kind of see the recordings at the end. So for the first group, we have on the value of volunteering, kind of the nonprofit's perspective. We have Cassie Hilgert here from ArtsQuest, the president and CEO, and Corey Stevens, volunteer and intern programs manager for ArtsQuest. ArtsQuest is the largest user of volunteers in our community. And so today you're going to hear from them about sharing the why, the how, and the value that volunteers bring to their organization. The second breakout group is around advocating and creating awareness. And so we have Elisa Barada from the 3rd Street Alliance and Chris Cassidy from CACLV in that session, together with Mark Riddle from New Bethany Ministries. And in that breakout session, you're going to have a great conversation around advocating around homelessness and food access. So the three of them work together collaboratively outside of their day jobs in support of those two initiatives here in the community. The third set is the corporate side. So some of you will recognize your corporate support and your community relations folks, because we have Erin Ludwig from the Lehigh Valley Health Network, and we have Lisette Santana from PPL, both of which are responsible in their organizations for community relations, community engagement, and really helping to bring community to the employees of their company and get them out into the community as well. And then the last session we have is fundraising and relationship cultivation. And so today we have Cindy Berner here from the Salvation Army Foster Care and Adoption, and Melissa Siegfried here from St. Luke's University Health Network. And so they're going to kind of take that word fundraising and break it down for you a little bit so it doesn't sound like that word that everybody shies away from when you have to think about joining a nonprofit organization or help support. So it's a terrific lineup. And I hope that you guys will all enjoy each of those sessions. When you think about the representation here from the presenters today, we have our two major health networks on here. We have Arts Quest, we have some of our largest nonprofit organizations. And so I just, again, want to say thank you to each of you for being here. Okay, so we are, hopefully you guys had some good sessions. I was able to pop in and out of a few of them and heard some very good dialogue going on. So we're hoping that you found some valuable takeaways for you. I want to just again thank all of our presenters that were in those sessions for taking their time and for bringing their knowledge and ideas forward for us. And I just want to remind you guys that every one of us has a unique skill and a passion to share with a nonprofit, and it's a great way to make an impact. So hopefully that's where your head is going to go after this session today. I'm going to take a minute. Karianne Gelinas is here from Lehigh Valley Economic Development, and Karianne's been working with us in connection with all of the talent management, bringing all the employers together, and has been part of these conversations. So I just wanted to give Karianne a few minutes just to share a little bit about kind of what they're doing, the whole concept of the importance of community engagement. And so Karianne, I know she's been having trouble with her internet, so we'll see how that goes.
Thanks so much, Karen. Yeah, so glad to be here and see so many exciting faces participate in these sessions today. So the Lehigh Valley Economic Development Corporation, we're the economic development organization that seeks to bring employers here to the Lehigh Valley or retain and support those employers who are already here. And talent is the absolute top of utmost top interest to the employers who are here, or when an employer is thinking about potentially moving to a new location or expanding. And so increasingly, our interest has shifted from what's the land and what is the funding available to bring employers to a region, to who are the people and what skills do they have. And so people like yourselves who are interning here with the local employers and who have all of these amazing skills that you're offering are absolutely what employers are looking for most to understand, to decide if any region is the right fit for them. In order to support employers along that vein, we've done a lot of different collaborative community initiatives here in the Lehigh Valley. And so just to quickly name a couple, some of them are research-based, so we're trying to understand. I saw a couple of individuals who are participating in previous sessions are current students at local regional colleges and universities, so we're seeking your input. Cassie just asked a lot of really great questions of the individuals in our room to say, what makes you interested in a region? Where do you want to land? What makes a place attractive to you? And that's the type of information we want to understand from our alumni here in the local colleges and universities. So we're doing a study to understand that so that we can better understand what our regional assets are when we look at young professionals who we want to be retaining here in the region. Another two pieces that we have that really go hand in hand along with the talent recruitment piece are we've created a website. So if you're not currently here, or if you want to learn more about the Lehigh Valley, there's a website. It's the Made Possible in Lehigh Valley, or Lehigh Valley Made Possible website. And I know we can share this information out with the group after today's sessions. But that website will direct you to all sorts of different information where you can learn about industries that are here, where you can learn about, I heard someone think about greenways and green spaces, where you can learn a little bit about the different nonprofits as well as other organizations that are here. And so it's really a resource to say, is the Lehigh Valley a good fit for me? I can see some people who are in my industry, in healthcare, in manufacturing, in a technical field, and really hear from their voices and through their stories what the Lehigh Valley has meant to them as a good place to live, work, and play. And then finally, along and hand in hand with that website, we have a welcome guide. And that welcome guide is basically a snapshot to really condense down those things that I already mentioned. And we share that out. Many of the recruitment staff, maybe some of you have already even seen it through your interning at your current employer. But it's, again, a condensed guide to say, hey, here are the educational assets here are the green resources here are the industry basic and economy data and information that can help you to have more information to kind of make some of those decisions as you start to figure out where you want to go. So essentially, the most important part that we've learned here working in our region and as we work with employers is that talent is really the name of the game. And so we are always thrilled to work with and interact with interns and recent graduates from our colleges and universities to really talk about why the Lehigh Valley is a great place, how to make it better in your eyes, and how to recruit and retain that talent here to our region, because you're such a valuable component of who we are here in the Lehigh Valley.
Thanks, Karianne. And your internet worked for that, so that's awesome.
Thank you. I'm glad.
Zoom days for some people. It's Friday. So I just want to, as we're wrapping up, I just would like to take a few minutes to share some perspective on the ever-changing landscape in our community around the pandemic and what we've seen. And I want to just share, when you think about the organizations represented and even just the businesses here that you're involved with, every nonprofit organization here and where you are need your support as they shift through and pivot through this pandemic. We were just talking offline about the amount of work it takes for all of us to be shifting and pivoting and recreating opportunities. And so there's great opportunity to get involved in a lot of different ways. It looks different from on-site volunteering and being able to go and, I heard like even in the food pantries and being able to access and serve food, things like that, it's going to look a little different for a while. And so we encourage you to be patient in the process, but to be creative at the same time. We also want to invite you to think about your passions and your interests and to intentionally engage in your community to support those organizations. Like I said, that engagement can look very differently today, but as you heard from the speakers, volunteers are the core of success of programming for nonprofits, particularly around events and programs specifically. Take the time to kind of get out there, understand what those needs are, understand from your employer's needs what they're doing in the community and why those areas of focus are so important to them. Be curious and ask questions. So I also want to share, as far as we kind of wrap up here, the sentiments of the last 4 months, and we know that they've looked differently, and we also know that most everybody on this Zoom meeting has been over-Zoomed or over-stimulated through being staring at your computer all day. And we want to get connected again. We're looking forward to 2021 for our Intern Impact Day and where that will go, and just even how we can be creative and continue to think about ways to mobilize interns and to help them connect and for them to help build community around the Lehigh Valley, which is so important to us here. I wanted to share, yesterday I heard a speaker and I wrote this down. I just thought it was brilliant what he said. So I just wanted to share in closing what I heard. So I want to challenge you to be curious. I want you to be willing to learn, to affect change, try new things, and stop doing the same things because that's always the way they've been done. It's okay to act and to be different. So right now we've got in our slideshow that you can see here on my screen, there's some resources. Megan has put the link to our website in the chat box. You can certainly go there. We have a lot of resources that are around all of the different sessions that you heard today. So in closing, thank you all very much. Thank you again to all of our presenters and facilitators. Thank you to the talent management core group that's been working together with us on this. And just happy Friday, and hope to see you all in community soon. Take care.